Hey y'all, my name is Bethany Taylor. I'm 21 years old and I'm a violin teacher in North Carolina. Suzanne asked me to do a little introduction video of myself, so I hope that I can say a few things about myself and keep it kind of short and not ramble too much. So here I go. I started taking violin when I was 14, and I had taken piano for a long time, since I was like 6. That's just something my mama wanted us to do, so we took piano since then. And that's something I actually teach on the side. I teach piano lessons, but that's not my main thing. And when I started taking violin, I just fell in love. I mean, something clicked. It was like my long lost best friend, and I just really, really loved it. And my teacher really just helped instill that love of the violin in me. And she was a more classical violinist. She was classically trained, and that's just something she really, really loved. And she didn't do the Suzuki method on me. She did the all for strings method, and that was something I really enjoyed. It laid a really good foundation and just taught a lot about musical violin terms. And so I use that method on my students as well, just because I feel like it's a really good, solid foundation. And but she was not a fiddler at all. She was into the Bach and the I always have a hard time saying the guy who wrote Swan Lake, but she was into him too. So but she was not a fiddler, and that's something that I really, really enjoyed. Fiddle music, I loved it when I was little, being from North Carolina. Hearing somebody play the violin when I was little was not that common, just because in my town people usually play the piano or the guitar, and so I just didn't hear it very much. But when I did, it was played as a fiddle, and so it's just what I grew up around. And North Carolina's history, our musical heritage, is bluegrass, mountain music, even some Celtic fiddle. So that's just something, me being a North Carolinian, wanted to do. It was in me. It was just something I really enjoyed hearing, fiddle music. And so I do that on my own, and I do it by ear. And so I was just by myself on that. So I taught myself that, and I try to instill playing by ear and just learning different styles to my students, because I don't think you should be just stuck on one thing, just stuck on classical or just stuck on fiddle. I try to offer classical and different fiddle styles to my students, and teach them to play by ear and teach them to play by note, because those are really important things that could be really useful in life and whatever you want to use your instrument for. I play a lot in church. That was my main goal. I wanted to use my violin playing in church and to just worship the Lord and to make Him happy. And that's one thing I teach to my students. Using your violin, it should be joyful. It should be a joyful experience, not something that we're constantly dreading, practicing, or, oh, I just really don't want to do this today. It should be something we look forward to. It should be something that we want to make the Lord happy, or we want to make others happy. We want to see them smile. When we get up there to play something, like at a recital, I try to encourage my students to smile, look pleasant, because no one wants to see somebody like looking like they're having an awful time up there. So I try to teach them to be joyful about their playing, because it's just something that was created to make people happy and to make the Lord happy. It's not something that should drag people down. It's not something we should constantly be stressed about. I know some songs are very stressful to me. That's how I was with classical music. I would get very stressed out. And I've had my fair share of stressful recital pieces. Ask my family. They went through it with me. They were constantly having to tell me to calm down or something. So I know where you're coming from at that. But now I see that it's just a waste of time to really get so down about it. So I want to encourage you to smile and be happy about your music, and to accept the flaws and work on them. Don't be so bogged down on them. Don't think of them constantly. You see your flaws, and then you fix them, and you continue to be happy in your music. Don't let it bring you down. And so I hope that this introduction video, I probably rambled, but I hope that it's an encouragement to you, and I hope that my answers to Miss Suzanne's questions are a blessing to you, and you get something out of it.